Hello, hello. I'd like to welcome you. Today's topic is understanding conflict with Dr. Simmons. I'm Dr. Yolonda Young Simmons. I'll be your facilitator for today. And I'd like to welcome you to this training. And our training focus today is how can we understand conflict? When conflict is both internal, external, it can actually disrupt our productivity in our lives and our lifestyle. So we need to take the time to discuss ways to create a healthier, more collaborative lifestyle and to avoid as much conflict as possible. Look at this gentleman. He don't want everybody pointing at him. You have a problem. We don't want to identify the problem. We understand. We want to understand. And that's what we're here today. Let's take a moment to do that, okay? I believe variety is the spice of life. I say that all the time because I believe that when I'm preparing a chicken noodle soup, I make sure that the vegetables go in, carrots and onions and spices all go in, and that makes a good soup. So sometimes variety is the spice of life. And in our work environment, it's important that we hire people to surround ourselves with multi-talented people, people with different skills, different goals. We do that because people from diverse walks of life, those people are with us and they can help us. You can hire a reader, a writer. You can hire a introvert. An introvert is different from an extrovert because they're all different people and it takes that spice to bring out the best. An introvert doesn't want to be public speaking, but an extrovert look for the people because they're energized by people. We also have people that are very detailed in what they do in their precise detail. And then we have other people that's about the big picture. So all of these different people we have to live with, work with, communicate with, and yet we all have different talents. And what we need to do is to understand that it takes everybody to work together as a team and focus on the big picture and the opportunities. Because individuals, as we all have different skills and different goals, we all have different internal struggles, external, and it creates external personality challenges. Meaning the precise detail person may not like the big picture person. The introvert may not like the extrovert. It's because we're all so different. But we have to accept each person as they are. If they're different, let them be different, and we accept them as they are. So what causes conflict? We don't always understand that it's a misunderstanding. Personal differences causes conflict. It could be several reasons. It could be a lack of your role and a clarification if you're on the job. It could be a conflict because you do not understand the opinion that they have because you have a different opinion. It also could be past traumas that could give you trust issues or low self-esteem or difficulty dealing with leadership or supervision or any kind of authority, lack of trust. It could be any of those things. And when we have past traumas or conflict or lack of understanding because something wasn't communicated properly, for example, if you're a detail person and you're given a vague picture of your role, you feel that it was not clarified well. And then if you're a big picture person and the person want to tell you your role on the job and they give you every little detail, you're bored to death because you're saying, why they talk to me like I'm 2 year old? So you see what I'm saying? That's an ego in your head that can cause a problem because all you see is the problem and not all the different personalities. So let's take a closer look because it's really you versus them. That's what you feel. You feel that the egos and the story that you created in your head, there's a conflict. There's a conflict because there's a misunderstanding. And I've created this in my head that there's a problem with me and them. There's a conflict in my head because my ego is telling me that my past trauma said not to let somebody take full authority or to disrespect you. So your ego and your low self-esteem is affected. So that can cause a conflict. All of this, you versus them, is causing the conflict. Let's define conflict. We can define conflict as a serious disagreement, a fight, or a battle, even a war. In our society today, whatever time you're watching this tape, there is a fight someplace, there's a battle somewhere, there's a war someplace. And how conflict affect us working together, it reduces our productivity. It's the lack of communication. We stop speaking to each other. There's no team effort. There's no morale and the distraction of purpose. The basis of conflict can be personal, racial, class given, and even political. So the ultimate thing, what I see, is that it can create a reduction in my productivity if I have a conflict with somebody. It can create a distraction from my ultimate purpose. Don't let conflict distract you from your purpose. Do not let that happen because you are here for a purpose and a reason. So, how can we fix this mess that we're in? Express yourself without the drama. Forgive. Use the right words. Accept each other. Be more compassionate, have more empathy to understand that they bring a gift into either the organization or they bring a gift into your life that you may not possess. Accept them just the way they are and express yourself without drama. And then you look in the mirror, you think before you speak, and you accept responsibility if it's necessary. Accept that responsibility if you need to accept it. This is how we fix it because you should not let anything distract you from your ultimate purpose. And that's what all this is. This is just distraction. It'll keep you angry at somebody for no reason. It'll keep you in an unforgiving state for no reason. And when we don't forgive others, how can God forgive us if we can't forgive others? It stops us from being part of the team, and it creates us being alienated from the team, and that's a problem. So we need the skills to cope with conflict. Two people are not alike. We need each other. Two people are very different. No two people are alike. As Gandhi said, peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to cope with it. I want us to cope with it, cope with the conflict, understand that diversity is important in our team, in our culture, in our relationships, in equal choices, equal access. We must understand each other better. A team that works together can be managed and we can create a better output if we work together as a team, meaning that they bring a skill level that you may not have. And I understand that, like they said, in the relationships and marriage, I've been married to my husband at this point of this tape 40 years. And I understand we're absolutely different. And they said opposites attract. Yes, we do attract because he brings into the marriage what I don't have. I bring into the marriage what he doesn't have. And then we complement each other in the middle, and we esteem one another in their gifting. We say, "Oh, you did well in that." We esteem one another. We had to learn those traits, and so I'm asking you to learn the traits that it takes. That you will compromise. That you will not let anything stop you from reaching your ultimate goal because they're all distractions, and you don't want to be distracted from your ultimate purpose. You want to reach your goal. And how do we reach our goal? We love unconditionally. We love unconditionally. We accept the person just the way they are until they grow up. They may have to grow up. You may have to grow up. We don't know who the problem is because we're all human beings and we come with our flaws and our limitations. So we bring something into the relationship. But the Bible says in John 15, I think it's 15:17, and it's only 10 words. Jesus told us that the commandment that he has, that we will love one another, that we will love one another. And I'm telling you to love your brother and sister. Love unconditionally. Accept them as they are. Love them without hesitation because that is a commandment from God. And that's how we deal with our conflict in our lives. That's how we deal with our conflict internally or externally, that we love one another. Because I believe that God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things, and you may be that one to do that extraordinary thing. God bless you. Thank you for letting me serve.